back to another episode of I Got Big Bowls. Pause.
Pause.
I got big bowls. Hey, 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 hey. I got big bowls. Hey, 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 hey. I got big bowls. Hold up one time, do it. Hold up one time, big bowls. Hold up one time, do it. Hold up one time.
Hey, once again, it's on. It's your boy E1 Don signing on. Salute. That's E the number 1 DON on all social media. Just add the salute if you're rocking on X, aka Twitter. You know, make sure you guys are checking for us. Big Bowls Pause on all social media. And the show is brought to you by CrunchTime TV on Instagram, CrunchTime TV, and the website is mycttv.com. The .com is here. No more .net for us. We've upgraded. We're back with a .com. So, and we got merch, and we got some new merch coming soon. You see the shirts, the big boy. Oh, easy. We gonna bless our guest. He gonna get one too. So he already know.
In my size.
In his size. You know, you gotta make sure. That's very important when you're doing this. You know what I'm saying? So. Also, the show's brought to you by Live Hip Hop Daily. A lot of great shows, a lot of great programming. This is one of them. I got Big Bowls Pause. We got more cereal, we got more guests, and we got more bowls. Pause. Got my co-host in the building, Sky Terrell. Go ahead and run down your social media for the people.
Instagram, Facebook, X. I am Sky Terrell, SKYETERRELL. That's it. You know, they stole my Instagram though, but I got it back. It is what it is.
That was crazy. How you left the crazy African picture up too.
Hackers don't hack.
Then we got my other co-host in the building, Danny Digital.
What's going on? It's your boy Danny Digital. Follow me on all social platforms at Danny Digital, DANNYDIGITALL. Check out some of that video and photography content I got up there for you guys.
We got a real special guest in the building. Hey, we got Royce Monroe in the building. Run down your social media right quick for the people.
If you follow me on Instagram, it is Royce Monroe, ROYCEMONROE. Other than that, checking for me on YouTube or TikTok, it is really Royce TV, because you really get to meet me.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get into what he got going on, and as always, we're gonna get into some cereals, some good old cereal.
Y'all got like oat milk or something, right? Cause
Yeah.
you know I got an old African American stomach. I can't.
Yeah. We got the oat milk. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're gonna get into it, man. Yo, man, Roy's been in the game a little bit, you know, so obviously your passion started with music, and we, as you can see, we got the book on the table, so you are your own industry. Make sure you guys cop that for sure. I cop mine.
He's playing.
They online. If you catch me in the street,
You got him in the trunk.
listen, we taking it back to Master P days. If you catch me in the street, they in my trunk. But if you online and you not nowhere near where I'm at, you can go to Amazon.com, type in "You Are Your Own Industry," Royce Monroe, and it's gonna pop right up for you. Support the movement.
That's where I got mine at, on Amazon. You know what I mean? And it's a good read, so we're gonna get into that some more detail. But first I wanted to just start off by talk about your first passion. Is it music? Is music your first passion?
No, definitely. Like growing up, I'm from Polk County, Florida. So if don't nobody know, it's a small little county area that's in between Tampa and Orlando.
Okay.
And out there, my brother was a DJ. My mom, outside of being a nurse when she was still in school, she was a office manager for a radio station, an AM station out there. So when I was young, I got a chance to kind of be on air. I'm in high school, but it was just more from a personality standpoint. I ain't know nothing about the equipment. I ain't know nothing. I just knew how to, when the mic on, let's go, type of vibe.
Right.
So when it was time to go to, when it was time to graduate high school, mom sat me down and was like, yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't care what you wanna do, but whatever you do, you gotta do that for real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and given our like conditions, it ain't like we was just like super not having, but we was not having. So it's like, ain't nothing to come back to. Ain't no room to come back to. Ain't no none of that. So once you step out here, you stepped out here type of thing. You understand me?
You gotta get it. It's time to get it.
So yeah, music's always been my passion, man. It was more about understanding. So even like leading up, even before we get to the book, it's like knowing that your knowledge base is gonna determine your opportunities. That's something that I always kept in mind. So before I get on the field, I wanna be trained, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So Has it always been like behind the scenes, or have you ever like been on the stage performing, like actually making music before?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
When I first moved to Atlanta, I linked up with a producer. I don't think he even live here no more, but my man was, shouts out my old school homeboy, AB Boy Wonder. We used to have a group called the Co-Stars.
Right.
And essentially, because I had a skill set in engineering and he was a producer, we was like, we'll both rap too then, you know what I'm saying? Right. But what I realized over time was people were rocking with me for like how the music I was making was sounding. So it's like, I was very logical growing up, still logical now, where it's like, okay, you don't like this, but you like what I'm doing with this, and you want me to do this with you, let's rock, because I'm just trying to get in. I'm trying to get in at the time, even though we know that you don't get in, you merge in, but at that point, I was trying to get in the game.
Right. So that's dope.
I met you, many moons ago.
Is that flood season?
You was a panelist. So you was already had motion, like you was a producer though. Do you produce or did you produce at any point?
Yes. This is my thing. Even something I tell like the interns that work at the company or whatever, it's like, focus on your skill sets, not your title.
Right.
Because it's like, if someone asks me, so what do you do in music? Oh, I'm a general manager for a record label. Nobody know what that means. You know what I'm saying? But if you ask me like, okay, so, but what are you skilled in? It's like, oh, that's a laundry list of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we can produce the record, we could write record, we can engineer, mix, all that. If a person tell you he mix and master, he lying, but we ain't gonna go there right now.
Yeah.
But to me, it was just always wanting to be a student of the game, because where I'm coming from, again, Polk County, Florida, ain't nothing to go back to. People barely know what that is.
Yeah.
It's no excuse. You feel me? If I gotta do everything, if I gotta shoot, host, direct, let's do it. You feel me? If somebody better can do it, cool. But if they ain't there, we gonna get it, you know?
Absolutely.
Man got so many hats, he forget what hat he got on. Like, damn. But one thing for sure, no matter what hat you got on, you always been the same genuine nigga from the day one, from when I met you on that panel years ago to see you in Texas or LA. Like, you know what I'm saying? You stay a genuine who you are. And to do that in this industry is kind of not so easy, or you don't run into that many people who are like that. Like, how do you navigate the industry?
I just don't forget who I was. You know what I'm saying? I don't forget about not being accepted. I don't forget about like not being proven or no one looking at your skill set. I also understand that in 6 months, the whole dynamic could change. Like, I may feel like I'm the man now, and then I meet you and I'm on some like, yeah, whatever, bro. And then 6 months from now, you are the thing. So I just always try to speak to the, man. I just try to deal with the human in people. Like, talking to an artist, there's the artist and there's the person that's fueling the artist. So it's like, I talk to the government name. I don't talk to the persona and the brand, because each of us have that. Like, there's this frontline person, and then there's also the person that's fueling that frontline. So it's like, if you keep it real with people, people ain't got no reason not to be real with you, type of thing, you know?
And I think that happens a lot of times where my character clashes with your character, and now us as people, we got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I would say it's just like a relationship, right? It's like there's who you are outside of me, there's who you are, there's who I am outside of you, but then there's who we're gonna be together.
Right.
So it's like you always gotta like find how you're gonna operate with somebody. Because if you think you it and I think I'm it, that don't mean we can't figure something out. That just means we might have to humble that itness to get to the litness. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, that's a bar. Humble the itness to get to the litness. You feel
Dropping
me?
gems. That's a relationship right there.
I kind of see that playing out with you and Willie Joe, being the A&Rs and what you guys over there doing that,
Let me tell you, my man Willie Joe. Let's give a quick shout out to my man Willie Joe, head A&R at Big G in Generation Now. But I met Joe long time ago, back when he was an artist and he was cracking here in the A. Of course, he's from the Bay. Had a great big record that's still like a staple for the Bay Area called Bay Bruh. But I met him as an artist, and I was engineering for a producer named Easy LP. He's one of my awesome mentors. He used to be one of Bad Boy's hitmen. One of his most notable records is like Special Delivery. You know what I'm saying? But I was engineering for him, and I met Joe when he was kind of like, when he was, you know, the hotness here in Atlanta. And since then, we just always stayed in contact. And like at one point, we had a mutual best friend. And that's what roped us back in. Like, I didn't even realize I mixed Bay Bruh for him back in the day. It was just, we had the same best friends. Like, hey, can you do this for my mans real quick? Yeah, I got you. And so throughout our life, it's like we've always been like brought back together, pause. But it's like, we don't take that for granted because it's like it's God. Even us working for the same record label right now, that it wasn't intentional. He knew the one owner on his own merit. I knew one of the other owners on my own merit, and we just so happened to be at the same place. So when people see us, they be like, how y'all work so well together? Because we just understand the power that's bigger than us and that we don't take none of this for granted. And neither of us were in the position we're in now type of thing. Like we both were not executives. I was an engineer and he was an artist type of thing, you know? So, beautiful.
Right. Same, you know, my relationship with Joe. I recorded one of his first mixtapes when he was down here. He used to work at the airport with my homie. You know, my homie T.O. Loco that was in the rap group with me. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he brought him to the house and we've been rocking. You know, Joe, cool people.
Feel me?
Yeah, get him, got him good.
Good. Yeah, stop playing with him now. His song was like, if y'all remember the Dirty Boys on what, 107.9, his song was the intro record for the longest time. You know what's crazy that don't nobody know? Willie Joe actually named B.O.B.
Yeah.
B.O.B. used to be Willie Joe Engineer.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of history behind it. If you don't know, get to know Willie Joe. You know what I'm saying?
All right, speaking of which, how did you get involved with, you spoke on this a little bit, you had your own, you knew one of the owners personally, but how did you get into Generation Now as doing what you're doing? Like, how did that even come about?
So many moons ago, outside of engineering, I got an opportunity to like work at ASCAP. American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, and deals in performing rights organization royalties. So in working there, I was still engineer, but what I realized is, so not to be name dropping all that, but we in the interview, so you gotta do it. So I used to engineer under Convict and Blue Vision, right? And I used to watch the A&R come in the room. Now mind you, we've been in the room for 8 hours, 12 hours, doing what happens in the studio session and stuff like that. So the A&R come in, he'll hit the space bar, listen to the music, he jamming, he'll stop it, he'll hype us up. You know how they do like the stop, to play, you know what I'm saying? So he'll hype you up and then leave the room. This is a 15, 20 minute interaction. Now we've been in this thing for 8 to 12 hours, you know what I'm saying? He come in for 15 minutes, hype us up and then leave. And I used to look like, man, I need my decisions to start paying me versus my sweat equity. Cause just like in a regular world, there's white collar and blue collar. So in music, there's white collar positions, there's blue collar positions. And I was like, I don't wanna keep handing over my time to get my money. I'd rather leverage my decision making in order to create that type of profit, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where that started from. So in working at ASCAP, basically, I wasn't making enough money. You know what I'm saying? And without getting into too much detail, you had to kind of put your focus where it needed to be and not involve yourself in other activities, right? So I was like, well, let me turn up this engineering thing. So one of the A&Rs that I was helping at ASCAP, when I was at ASCAP helping one of the A&Rs from Atlantic, he gave me an opportunity to start engineering for Atlantic. So I'm engineering, I'm recording Capn and a few other people at the time. And you know, I knew Drum, Lake, and Cannon, not like, hey, what's up? But it's like face recognition, because I was, you know, I'm moving around. You always gonna see me in a room when you come in to do something, da da da. So one day, the studio managers at the time, they were in the room that I was in preparing for a session, and they was having an issue with like parking or something like that. It was something that was like not a big deal. And so I was like, I turned around, I was like, look, why don't y'all just take the keys and whatever the issue was, and then Dron walked in. So when Dron walked in, I said, up, and turned back around. Because you know, as an engineer, you gotta know your space. Right. So he walked in and Dron was like, no. Continue what you were saying. Because he one of them. He like, no, don't stop the motion because I walked in. Let me hear what you was gonna say. So I finished explaining what they need to do and da 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 da. And then he ended up just walking back out. And maybe like a couple weeks later, I got a phone call and they was like, yeah, you know, Drum is thinking about getting a new studio manager, and we just want to know, like, they were trying to be coy about it. It was like, if you had any ideas of people, I'm like, oh yeah, my man got you. Let me refer you to my man, because at the time I'm thinking like, I'm already in the game. Like, I work at ASCAP, I engineer for Atlantic, I done recorded all kind of notable people and stuff, so it ain't like I'm trying to, you know, gatekeep an opportunity. So they interviewed my guy. They called me back the week after, like, yeah, your man was cool, but Drum really just wanted to focus on you. And I was just like, y'all know I work at, you know what I'm saying? But really, I'm shocked because I'm just like, well, y'all know I work at ASCAP, right? They was like, yeah, you have to quit that and just come over here.
Straight up.
So I ended up, I'm also a proponent of not burning a bridge. So I had built up a real validity at ASCAP, because even the people that hired me, they had transitioned into higher positions at other companies. So for a moment, I was the only ASCAP rep here in Atlanta. Now they ain't start paying me like I was the only rep. I was still just a membership coordinator, but I didn't take that lightly. And I knew what events we had annually and so on and so forth. So I was able to organize a plan where, hey Drum, how about I'll start with you guys, but you pay me half of what we've agreed to each month until I can come on full time. And then I communicated with ASCAP like, hey, I am gonna transition out, but I'm not gonna leave, just leave, you know what I'm saying? So I created guides for the people that were gonna come in and, you know, replace me in that position. I finished executing the events that we would have in the first 6 months. So when I left, it was a smooth transition. Just in case it didn't work out, can I come back? But it don't worked out because, you know, you are your own industry. But
There you go.
that's how we ended up getting over there.
So basically, you did good business.
All the time.
Basically. I got a question though, since I just met you. I don't know you since, you know, y'all was kids in diapers. What is Gen Now? So just in case nobody else knows.
Generation Now is a record label that's founded by 3 legendary individuals, DJ Drama, Don Cannon, and Lake Show. Our most notable acts to date are Lil Uzi and Jack Harlow. And we're the first record label to have a national partnership with Backwoods with our actual packs being sold nationwide. We also have a management division where we manage Carisha, aka Young Miami, Kodak Black, and we got a few more coming that I can't mention right now. But essentially, I mean, we're a record label here in Atlanta. Unlike most, I would say, Atlanta-based labels, we're more of an industry label versus like a Atlanta label. We just happen to be based here, even though we completely embrace the city that we're in because the owners went to CAU and I forget
Clark.
and Clark. So that's us.
Clark is CAU, but
Yeah, I would say it's Morehouse, my bad. Yeah, because Cannon and Drum went to CAU and then Lake went to Morehouse. So yeah.
same.
I gotta get it right because y'all documenting this, so they gonna see it. Like,
That's why I wanted to say.
Mad as fuck.
I was like Clark CAU. They got the same letters. They got the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Spellman. You start running down all Atlanta history on your ass. But while we on Generation Now, what's up? Who's next? What's next?
Our focus right now is Kai Cash.
Okay, Kai Cash.
Kai Cash is the latest signee to Generation Now.
Okay.
He's originally from New York. The family that he comes from is iconic in the music industry, but his acumen for music it's real rap. There's no auto-tune to turn on. There's bars to engage and listen to type thing. We just dropped his latest singles called You See It. The video's out now. You can check for it on all streaming platforms, YouTube included, and his album is on the way. So that is our focus right now. Also this year, it's just a lot more opportunity as far as our roster goes because we are kind of wide open in that capacity, but we're gonna just keep impacting the culture. If you look at it currently, there's very few labels, especially boutique labels, that are holding on in this climate. So I know we've all heard about like the changes that have gone on in a major way from the top levels of music. Didn't affect us in a negative way at all because when you're winning correctly, you're gonna win forever. You know what I'm saying?
So you talk about a lot about music, but you have a book in front of you. So how did you transition, or you're not really transitioning?
It's not a transition, it's an inclusion. Because the thing with music, because most of my friends that are not obviously colleagues in the game, they do regular 9 to 5 other stuff, right? And what's missing in music is education. We always focus on like the fun part, the result part, but we don't look at what it takes to do that. A person may know that they're supposed to get paid, but they don't understand how they need to be set up to be paid. So the reason for the book is to provide a guide. It's like if I feel like I have forever all these steps to go, right? But you're looking at me like I want to be where he's at. You read the book, it'll set you up to at least get to the space that I'm in, because I'm still in the field shooting, trying to get to the next space. But if the space I'm in looks appealing to you, and you know it does, you need to go ahead and read the book, and you could be here too, type of thing. So it's really a guide, not to just give information, because you know everybody has different books, like all you need to know about the music industry and so on and so forth. But in today's time, I feel like you need to break it down. Like, what do I need to do? All right, step 1, do this. Chapter 2, do this. Chapter 3, and each chapter builds on what you did in the previous chapter. And it's not like it's a quick read, but it's not a quick complete. Because it's going to be based on your effort and your organization. So the point for the book is kind of reinforcing the position that I play in the industry now. Because I'm heavy on administrative and still some creative in that capacity, but it's all behind the scenes to support the initiative of what we're trying to grow.
This is the first book?
This is definitely the first book, but it's not the last.
Not the last,
There
okay.
you go. been in the industry for a long time. Now you don't taught people how to be your own industry. What does that mean to you?
Being your own industry, it's like, it goes back to one of the core sayings that's in the introduction. In this game, what I realize is you don't get in, you merge in. And that's why you are your own industry, because essentially no one looks at you doing nothing and says, hey, I know you're doing nothing, but why don't you come do this for me? That's not how it works. People see what you're doing and say, hey, I like how you do that. Come do that with me. So now you're merging into someone else's situation to add your value. Like, some people want to belong to something so bad that they have no reason to belong. And it's like, if you focus on being of value, you'll forever be priceless. Like, you are your own industry means that regardless of whether or not you're with a team, you still have a certain series of skill sets. A lot of us are caught up in titles, like whether it be, oh, I'm an A&R, I'm a producer, I'm this, I'm that. It's like, you can be whatever you want to be, but are you valuable? Has any of that stuff you're saying generated revenue? Has it changed your life? Do you have shiny stuff on? Like, what's going on? Is the shiny stuff real? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of, I feel like most people that speak and have a book don't look like me. Right. Are not as relatable and aren't shooting from the field. Most people that you hear with a book, it's like an after the fact thing. Like, you know, when I was in the game, this is how, like, this is what's going on right now. Because I'm shooting right now, I'm winning right now, I'm taking losses that you never seen right now, but the book will help you get to the next stage that you're trying to get to.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Because not only have I read a lot of books, this is my book right here, by the way, you know what I mean? Like,
I ain't even have to bring him a book, because see, mine come in plastic wrap. My man had his, the page has been turned and everything.
You know what I mean? I'm real big about supporting. So I like what you're doing here, because I've read a lot of books about a lot of this stuff, and I've actually done a lot of these steps. So, and I didn't do them in order. So you definitely put it in a good order to make sure certain things that you have to do in this game is taken care of, which, you know, this book had me taking notes and getting a lot of ideas. I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I need to be doing this. I'm in my, you know, taking my notes, you know what I mean? One of the quotes I like was, if your music can make $1, it can definitely make $1 million. Can you explain that a little bit? Because I kind of understand where you was going with that, but I want to hear what you had to say about that.
You know, everybody want to make money in music, right? But they skip over like making a little bit of money. They just want to go from zero to like, here go this $1 million check. And it's just like, if we're trying to get an engine to work, we need that thing to crank up first.
Right.
So I compare it to like a faucet. I want to see a drip before I see a flow. Because no drip means ain't no water coming through, ain't no money being made. So if you can see royalties be accrued, then you can kind of assess what's going on so you can scale your business. A lot of people don't understand that all business is still relative. If we were selling cookies or something like that, we can start with just seeding and see what people think about the cookie, then we can put a dollar amount and see how much money we can make off the cookie, and then we continue to scale. So it's really more about putting things in perspective of how you can grow, because getting something to work is a celebration, and then getting it to work bigger gives you the next bigger celebration.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like even myself, like I feel like I'm more of a creative, but there's a whole business to music that, like, the music business and making music is not the same thing. Like a lot of people, and that's why you need people that's a business people, because like when you're in your creative space, you don't want to think about numbers and what needs to, you know, I'm trying to come up with this thing. You handle that. So like, I appreciate people that know to get behind the scenes and be that person to handle the business. Like, you told the story, I was watching one of your interviews, and you told the story about Archie Eversole. That's what it is. It's like, you make the music, you performing, your song is doing this thing, but you don't understand the business to even collect, like, there's money sitting out there for you.
That was shocking. So just to give context to that story, this is back when I was just an intern at ASCAP. And one day, Archie Eversole, if y'all don't know, make sure you research We Ready. Classic song in the A and just across in the Southern Music District. But anyway, he called me one day and he's like, hey, bruh, I just seen this article in Forbes that says I'm a millionaire. And he's like, where that's at? Because I'm on the South Side and I ain't seeing none of that. You know what I'm saying? So at this time, again, I'm an intern, but I understand how to work the system. I'm just not as confident in my knowledge base just yet. So I said, hold on for a second. I go to look in the system and whatnot, and
hold on real quick.
Okay.
is he just calling ASCAP and you just happen to answer the phone?
Correct.
Or he's calling you directly?
No, he's calling. I'm an intern. You feel what I'm saying?
You don't know
That's
me.
how he
You don't know me at all. You feel what I'm
The
saying?
phone at the
Like,
wrong time.
The reason I
Off
got
today.
the reason I got to be an intern is because the associate director of ASCAP at the time, Jennifer Goycochea, she used to also manage a certain songwriter at the studio that I worked at with Convict and Boo Vision. So when I went back to school to get my bachelor's degree in music business, because I wanted to hit the space bar and hype people up too,
Right.
I was like, yo, do you think I could have an internship at ASCAP? And she said, really? She's like, I didn't think you were interested in the admin side. I said, well, what made you say that? She was like, because I kind of see how you move with the artist, and it seemed like you kind of be like more on that side of life.
Right.
That was a big moment for me because it made me realize that through your actions and what you do and how you're perceived, you're always communicating. So when I looked at my actions and thinking about what she said, she right. Like, I'm engaging in all the stuff that artists engage in, messing with the girl, like, everything. You know what I'm saying? Rockstar engineer used to be like a little moniker. But she said this is what she did. This was like a November of whatever year it was. She said, look, if you show up on this date and time in March of the following year, then you got the internship.
Right.
I said, oh, okay, cool. She's like, I'm finna go to New York and do some other stuff, but March so-and-so at this time, you got it. I said, all right, bet. So a month passed, like December sometime, I tried to check in with her. Needless to say, she's not taking none of my calls, responding to none of my stuff, right? The day that March come, I show up early and on time. She was like, I was just testing you.
Right.
Because with this internship, each employee gets to choose their intern basically, and she didn't want to be misrepresented. Even though she could understand my eagerness, she understood my work acumen and being an engineer,
Right.
she still had to factor in what she saw me engage in, you know what I'm saying? So that was a big learning moment for me in that capacity. And then what was the original question? Because I get off track sometimes.
We were going into the Archie episode.
Archie episode, okay, so now back to that.
How he got you?
Now back to that. So
phone?
now I done got the internship. We cool. We living. Cool. So he calls in. Hey, Forbes said I'm supposed to be a millionaire. Where that's at? I look in the system and I was like, I don't know if what I'm seeing is correct. So I was like, I went into Jen's office. I'm like, look, is this right? Because if this is right, this man got $990 some odd $1,000 in checks that haven't been cashed. Like they've been sent out and all that stuff. But you can see in the system if someone cashes the check.
Right.
So she was like, no, that's right. Go ahead and tell him. You know what I'm saying?
I've been trying to call him stupid ass.
Yeah,
He
like-
blocked me.
Go ahead and tell him. I'm like, okay. So I get back on the phone. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm looking in the system. You got XYZ, da-da-da-da. Oh, I'm on the way. I said, wait a minute. It don't work like that.
It ain't here.
Yeah, like the check ain't here. I can't print it out. But we got through the process or whatnot. I remember him invite me out to some pool hall on the south side with his family, drinking Mad Dog 2020, just celebrating. And honestly, for the remainder of the life that he was able to live after that fact, like that really changed his life, because that's when you started seeing him in movies again. He was getting back to the music. Like he was up a meal, but then he kept running the check back up. So that was just one of those iconic moments. I actually still have like an interview that I'm saving for some other stuff from him that, we kind of talk about that. So.
Absolutely, like that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, like it's one thing to be a creator and make the music, but understanding the business of how to get paid. That's something. That's why I appreciate the book, because that's something I'm still working on to this day. Like, I have something, and I want to be able to get it out there. But this is something I realized recently too. Mm-hmm. My ego gets in the way of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? In a way that, like, even with the podcast, because that's where we at. Big Balls Pause.
If you don't know, now you know.
It's like. Sometimes it's like my ego's not letting me enjoy it at the level where I'm at. It's like it gotta be bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like it gotta be, it's like I can't enjoy it with it just being, here. Mm-hmm. Even with like music, like sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know if I had the energy for it, but I still, when I do it, I feel so good. It's such a passion of mine that's like, man, why can't I just enjoy it right here where I'm at with the 10 people that want to hear my songs or whatever? Like you said, starting that faucet to dripping, getting that $1 and being able to scale it up to where it's like, which brings us to our topic for today is passion in your career.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you chose a good one. Let's go.
How important is it for you to have a passion in your career or turn your passion into a career? Because you was willing to intern and work for free, and you was able to touch people and help people tremendously just by answering the phone. You know what I'm saying? You just there. Like, to me, I don't take that for granted. That you was able Cause he could have got somebody else that just asshole, don't even want to look and be like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking
Call
about.
membership services.
Yeah.
Click.
Or he could have been at the pool hall with the family, not you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody
So,
else.
I mean, I really attribute it to, you know, not only how like my mom raised me type of thing, but just coming from where I come from. Like I come from a small town type of thing, like Polk County, Florida. Mind you, it's a bunch of cities in Polk County, but I could stay on the same street, and if you go 2 miles down the road, you in a different city. So it's like we just always, in Florida, we go by the county because it's such a small collection, but I just knew where I was coming from and that nothing was promised, and I just think about where I'm trying to go type of thing, because I've always had a close relationship with God. Like some people think you gotta be like super religious, and I would say I'm more spiritual than anything, right? But that same ego problem that you may have, that in a certain capacity, that relates to a certain level of doubt. Because when you truly step into like how you exist, it's almost like you don't have to do nothing. Like you have to just keep putting forth the correct effort and energy with people, and God gonna take care of the rest. Something that I practice now is anything in life, whether it's something that's like just in my personal life or even in business, if I have to put too much human effort into it, then sometimes I have to take a moment to reassess, because the things that God wants to bring to you, it's easy and effortless in a sense. Now it may not be effortless by your own merit, but it may be effortless in you letting go. Like if you holding on, that's a lot of strength that you're trying to exercise there, but if you let go and let God, it's kind of like you'll be able to follow.
You'll be in the right place at the right time.
Correct. Now, a future book I'm still working on it now, but of course we're here for the next couple years. It's going to be called Survivors versus Designers. This is where we're going to elevate from just the music industry to the mindset, right? Because you know, y'all follow me online. It's more about mindset for me. And for Survivors versus Designers, in life, we all start off as survivors. We're dealing with our circumstances. We're trying to get some type of regular rigmarole to just what our life circumstances are. And then some people throughout that process get the opportunity to start designing certain aspects of their life. And then at a certain point, when you look up and realize like, yo, my entire life is based on my design. Like I wear what I want to wear, I live where I want to live, I do what I want to do, I create what I want to create. It's like you start to understand your real power in the world. And to a certain degree, it's almost scary because the majority of the people in the world are surviving. There's a very fortunate few that are designing, and it's not even like a money level thing, because there's some people that are rich that are still surviving as a rich person, you know?
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. So transitioning over to that designer space mentally, it can be scary because there's going to be very few people that agree with you because they're still caught up in the circumstances of their life.
Absolutely.
One thing about this book that I did like, because I'm not in the music industry, I just know him, know Danny, just, hey, come co-host. And I'm like, okay, I'll be there. But the book shows different areas where it says not music. It's like, if you're not in the industry, here. So it's not just music it's for everyone.
Because that's my thing. Like I try to start from my knowledge base and what like my landscape, but the way I try to give information and motivation is really just in general. Because I'm speaking to the human. I'm not speaking to the artist. I'm not speaking to the A&R. It speaks to everybody, but in speaking to the human, you speak to everybody.
Right.
I can speak to the guy that empties the trash. Like I can speak to because to me this book represents you can be set up to do anything. So whether it's music, whether it's you got your own cereal or something like that, like you still are your own industry. And so it's like adjusting your mindset to realize how much power you have in your creation and being patient with yourself and not waiting to get help. Like you got to help yourself. Like even with that, going back to your ego thing, sometimes it's not about like, what else am I not doing? It's about refining the things that you are doing, because God don't need you to put more on your plate. Right. He just needs you to act better with what's on your plate.
Man, this boy's dropping gems.
Right.
And it's live, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not rehearsed at all.
Come on.
Nah, straight up. You know what I mean? Like that is what it is. Cause like sometimes you can be your own worst enemy, get in your own way. But since I've let go of all of that expectation, worrying about how many views something might get or the results, I'm at peace with just staying in the grind, and it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. As long as you keep putting foot to the pavement, you're gonna get to where you gotta go.
And let me tell you, in this day and age that we're in, those feelings come from the release date and the expectation of instant gratification. But the most important date is every day after you release the content. So there's a company that I'm endorsed by, Aura.watch. Make sure you log on, Aura.watch, use Royce15, my discount code, get any watch you want. But with this company, it's something that I promote in my YouTube content, my TikTok, so on and so forth. Now, I'm not actively every day, Aura.watch, but when I shoot content, I promote it, right? Now, last year, I was able to do like over $10,000 in sales, where it's like you're buying the watch and you're getting the discount, but I'm still generating this much money. Thus far this year, I haven't shot content since last year. I've done 3,000. I'm averaging $1,000 a month in sales type of thing, right? And that's because the content where I did promote it is still being consumed.
Absolutely.
So the thing about this space that we're in now, this content is going to be consumed now, today, next week, next year. It's just all about how you continue to package it and approach it. Like, as long as we don't say anything dated, nothing in this will be dated. Like, in this book, I'm aware that 20 years from now, this is still true. You feel what I'm saying? The things that we discuss right now, it'll still, that opinion that each of us have, it still holds weight after the day that you said it, type of thing. So it's realizing that you're adding to forever. You're getting to manipulate forever based on your mindset and your own terms.
For the people,
Amen.
For the people who don't like to read, are you gonna do an audiobook?
I am going to do an audiobook. I'm also going to have master classes, and like, I'm in the process. This is what I was talking about before we even got on air, right? Outside of just the book's information, everything about the book, from how the cover's crafted to everything, to even my promotion of it, is all supposed to be an example of what I'm pitching to you in the book. So when I say you are your own industry, when you look at the book, right, you see you are industry, right? Because some people want to feel like they're in the game, right? But then they'll forget the small part, which is you are your own industry. Right? So while I can sit here and tell you about the company I work for, if you ask me like, so what else have you done in music recently? I'd be like, oh, okay. You heard ESTG's new album? Right. Yeah, I mixed that. You heard about this new artist over here? Yeah, I'm working with that to bring that up. Because it's like, again, the value that I hold isn't dependent upon who I work for. It's dependent upon the work that I do.
I'm laughing a little bit because I was gonna wait till we was off camera and pull you to the side and be like, yo, you know, from a distance, you kind of can't see it at your own, but it makes sense now. It's intentional.
Everything is intentional, bro. Everything. So like the same way I say you don't get in, you merge in, and this is why you are. I'm programming the world. You know what I'm saying? And an artist needs to basically take a page out of my book and understand that when it comes to your music, you're doing the same thing. Like, you're programming. The consumer does not know what they want. Right. You have to convince them of what they want. Everybody is programmable.
Right, I tell people all the time, like, anything you put out is like any product, like toilet tissue, whatever. You're gonna have to advertise. You're gonna have to let people know about it in a creative way where they can be like, okay, I'm gonna try that
If
out.
I was selling toilet tissue, I'd be wipe me down. I have a whole thing. Like, I figure out how to relate to the, figuring out how to relate to the human and get inside their psyche.
First of all, don't be trying to steal that. Like, yo,
Angel
If we see it, you know what I'm saying, we gonna know because this is documented. But
straight up, that's fire.
We did fix the date on the.
Yeah,
we got the date on the
date.
date stamp.
Don't worry about it. Date is
All that
attached to the
matters.
footage. We good.
put that in the description. Charmin, all them other brands, don't play.
That's straight up. But I love how people use hip hop. Hip hop is so intertwined with just marketing and everything. Like, just like you said, wipe me down for toilet tissue is genius. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Holla at Boosie, boy. Thank y'all for that check. They just hit
come
me, my
on,
boy.
man. All right, one more gem out the book. Y'all gonna have to get the book yourselves. I already read the book. It's an easy read, but
It's
like
an
you
easy
said,
read. Tell them how long it took you to read the book.
I read it in a day.
It don't take that long.
It don't take long at
Like,
all.
because of formatting, it says it's 100 and some odd pages, but it don't read like 100 and some odd pages. It read like 60 pages or less. Like, it don't take an hour and change.
Absolutely. But one of the things I thought was dope, because I don't know about this. I'm just a guy that likes to create. Upload your music 3 to 4 weeks in advance.
So, again, working behind the scenes, and obviously in the major label system, a lot of people think it's someone like pushing a button. They don't understand the literal logistics of music. And the thing about artists, they get excited. And when they get excited, they don't care about logistics. But then once they get excited and they put the stuff out, all of a sudden they start caring about logistics again.
Right.
So the reason that you want to upload your music early is that when it comes to like playlisting, a system is digesting your music. So the earlier that you upload your music, before the release date, on the release date, when you want it to be available on TikTok, on Instagram, on here, on there, it has to be digested. Everybody doesn't deliver the same. If you upload it with 24 hours before, you're hoping that it shows up on Spotify, Apple Music, and Tidal in that time. But we want it to be everywhere. My goal is to let people know you got to meet the consumer where they're at. And in order to do that, you have to prepare. People think that the artist gets excited. Everything you experience from any artist is super programmed. It's very intentional, it's very strategic, and it's meant to put the smile on your face. I talk to people in a way to make them ask me the question that I want to answer for them to think I'm such a subject matter expert. Right. But it's like, no, I just programmed you to come into my world, you know what I'm saying? That's why you are your own industry.
Absolutely.
See how that works?
All right, man, it's time to grab your bowls.
All right.
Hey man, we over here at Big Bowls Park. We'd like to get into your cereal background. What's some of your all-time favorite cereal coming up or even to this day?
Let me see, Cocoa Puffs and Frosted Flakes was the second and third. The very first was Rice Krispies, because you got to put your own little sugar in there, and when the milk hit it and you hear that snap, crackle, pop, like, because it's the thing, right? With Rice Krispies, to me, that's the only cereal you ain't gotta wait for that certain level of sogginess.
Right.
Like, as soon as you make the bowl, it's ready, you know what I'm saying? Now, you don't got that long either, because if you wait too long, it ends up being rice.
Take the Krispies
Put
out.
the Krispy all the way out. Well, yeah, man. Rice Krispies, Frosted Flakes, and Cocoa Puffs, man.
That's wild, because I started to get a combination of them last two. They had chocolate Frosted Flakes on the shelf. I just couldn't.
Now see, hold on. See, I ain't with the crossbreed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, Cocoa Puff cool. Like, it's just like outfits. If I'm having a Cocoa Puff day, we gonna do that. We having a Rice Krispie day, cool. Frosted Flake day, cool. But we start having like mulatto cereal. Like, I'm not, nah.
What you trying to do here?
Hey, that's where we at, you know what I mean? But I got, all right, I'll let y'all help choose. Y'all wanna go classic or new school? What y'all wanna do?
Is these the options back here?
No.
Okay, them ain't the options, just the
Those are
advertisers. Okay, cool.
I don't want to eat that.
Let's go new.
I'm gonna go dealer's choice. I ain't gonna be a deciding factor. I'm gonna go with what the squad say.
New gen.
I'm gonna do classic, and I'm gonna need you to be the middle.
Okay, then classic then. You feel me? We're gonna go with what the lady says.
All right, let me get a
I
little.
like him. I like that.
Oh, what happened to my shit?
That's what it is.
Hey, classic.
Oh man.
To scratch the roof of your mouth, Capn Crunch.
Eating and enjoying these motherfuckers.
Yo, my boy really got brand new boxes of cereal
Come on, man.
in the tub.
Let's go. Brand new. They got the games and stuff on the back. I like the classics,
I mean, you
man.
can't beat
You
Capn,
sit there.
man.
I missed the
Before we
stuff on
had
the
these-
inside though. I
You
missed
gotta let them
the
sit.
bottom of the box, little prizes that you had
come
to
on.
get
No,
to the
facts.
bottom.
Come on
I
now.
missed them.
As expensive as these cars, y'all need to throw something in the box.
For
you know what I
real.
mean?
Throw a little ring or something.
I don't think I've ever had Captain
tattoo or
Crunch
something.
with the berries in life.
Are you
With the
crazy?
bear? Oh,
the bears.
this new then.
With the birds.
It's gonna change your life.
You know why? When you have multiple people in the house, you just like that's why they bought Rice Krispies and
Yeah,
Frosted Flakes.
I
You had to
mean-
buy general cereal that everybody liked. You know, come on.
The original Captain Crunch without the berries was fire, but the berries.
The berries
you
make
don't
it?
Go back.
It's
You don't go back once
This
you
is what
get introduced to
Okay,
berries.
come on, oat milk, yeah.
Oat milk.
Cause we old. I know we look
right.
young, but ooh.
Wait. When I got up.
get all the milk.
Oh, y'all don't want to improve y'all life? Okay, cool.
No, there's only one person up here that doesn't want to improve their lives. I ain't pointing
And
at
that would be at
nobody.
the end.
But
I'm just saying.
Oh, you eat regular milk?
I just, I want to enjoy my cereal. That's all.
I feel you. See, that skinny guy luxuries, man. You feel what I'm saying?
there's a new one.
Oh,
Anyway.
Then she wanna give me the spoiled milk.
Yeah, she doing you dirty. She took your seat and she trying to kill you.
Take me off the show.
What do we need him
You
for?
only need one co-host.
What do we
Let me
need?
speed up the process.
Two
You wanna
hosts
drink
for
the
real.
bad milk. Damn.
My bad. Hold on, we got him.
Nah,
Got Invisalign, so hold on, I ain't gonna take these out.
I'm putting my milk first.
you want milk first? That's,
Milk first
Wow, that's a
Oh, you know what? You the person that start arguments, cause that's
that's a pause moment for sure.
yeah, like that's crazy. The milk first.
I didn't even get any cereal though, so
on its way.
it is.
Here you go,
It
here you
is
go,
It is
ladies
what
first.
it is. See?
ladies second to
You
last.
better
The program.
continue the programming, Roy.
Programming.
Continue that.
Yeah, I can take that back. Man.
Okay.
I'm done with it.
The thing is,
shit, my fault.
she's one of the bros, so
like,
sometimes
wait a
she likes
minute.
being treated like a lady, sometimes she likes being treated like one of the bros. I'm not the one to choose the side.
Lady.
Okay, yeah, who need the regular milk? Cause we ain't gonna do that. We gonna do
it on down.
this smooth and creamy oat milk pause.
Hey. All right, man.
Right here.
You get the stabbing.
Okay. Now, is there a process to this, or we just start eating the thing, or we supposed to have like some
Get right,
feedback,
man.
or
Get right. Right off to the
this
side.
how you know this ain't you? Well, this thing got so much processed color in it. That's crazy.
I thought they got rid of red number 4.
Not yet. Trump won't go.
No, they're working on it. I ain't had some of these in a minute.
You really like pink number 3 anyway.
Now, ideally, I like to control the ratio of berries to the crunch. So if I just had all berries and all crunches, I could do my own ratio.
berries.
But this is actually a pretty good ratio.
Didn't the crunch pieces used to be a little bigger than this? Like,
I think they were smaller.
No, I think you're used to the bag brand. You may have.
Yeah.
You may have grew up with the bag brand.
County?
They're
okay.
They're a lot bigger. They look.
you might be right, cause sometimes we had a chip clip on the cereal. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't mad at that, but that is obnoxiously sweet.
Yeah, very good.
Oh,
It really is.
I hope y'all drink water, because if y'all doing this at every show, good God. But it's good though.
All right, we got a little get to know you section while we eat cereal.
Okay.
What's your favorite meal of the day? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
I ain't gonna lie. I'll probably eat. On a good day, I get to eat twice. On a regular day, it's probably once. Because when I get up in the morning, you take your supplements, drink water, work out, and I might have a little snack or something, but I be having to get to the day. Because again, you are your own industry, and my responsibilities start before I even brush my teeth. So from 8 a.m. on, the phone could ring, text messages come in, emails got to get responded to. Because my thing about eating, right, is one, once I get somewhere, I can't really move. Because if I'm at the office, you're being pulled every type of direction. My Uber Eats, I should be sponsored at this point, but in managing your finances, which the book talks about, you can't just blast out on Uber Eats all day. So.
Right.
Plus, I don't want to slow down. So normally I'm moving so much that by the time it's time for me to eat, it's because the day has kind of come to a standstill and I can really feel the hunger. So I don't have a favorite meal. I'm happy to be eating.
What's
What's your favorite type of food?
I like Italian.
Okay.
I like Italian. I've been pescatarian for like 8 years though. You know what I'm saying? I still miss everything. Don't get it twisted, like food don't taste good. But just trying to feel healthier. You got to get older, so you got to look younger, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But Italian food, love tomato sauce. You know what I'm saying? Love the pasta. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than just tomato sauce, shrimp scampi, all kind of little stuff. But Italian me.
All right.
Mexican me second.
I'm down with some Mexican food.
Little rice ain't hurt nobody.
What's the best time of day to eat cereal?
When you need the hunger pain to go away.
Yeah, there you go.
Real quick, like
Yeah, because this is the thing. Say you was out partying last night and you was all tequilaed up and all that other good stuff. I wouldn't recommend cereal being the first thing you eat in the morning because you put yourself in a weird space. You know what I'm talking about?
Very weird.
You might want to have some toast or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? But I feel like cereal is almost like a treat in a sense.
Right.
So it really could be after a meal. It could be dessert.
True, especially with these sweet germs.
Something I used to do, if we talking about some fat-ish, is I take the favorite cereal. I used to make like pancakes or waffles or something, then put the cereal on top of the pancake or waffle, and then put the syrup on
You
it.
sound like my son.
Ooh, listen, let me tell you something. I'm still husky, but I'm a professional fat guy. I know how to be
Big
fat.
back.
What? I know how to get the sandwich from here and the fries from over here and make my own combo. You understand me?
Straight
I don't
up.
even do French fries. I do chicken nuggets on the side.
Damn.
That's
Chicken fries, please.
yeah. I was gonna say that's a big swap out, but I feel you though.
All right. If you can have a bowl of cereal with anybody, dead or alive, cereal and conversation, who you having a bowl with?
Man, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I'm gonna sit down with Diddy.
Oh shit, the diggler.
You like that one? Yeah, let's cut that one up. You feel what I'm saying? 'Cause let me-
It is what it is.
Sir.
we ain't gonna get into no weird conversation, right?
All right.
But let's talk about this, right? So, transparent. I'm 40 years old, right? So I've been on earth for long enough for people that's being vilified now and in recent times, they was an idol for me growing up.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? So it is unfortunate to see what people are experiencing and going through, but at the same time, I give everybody their day in court, so let the truth ring out free.
Allegedly.
But it's still like, I know in my mind, these are people that help form the aspirations of why I move, how I move, and blah, 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 blah. And again, we're not talking about nothing weird. Get serious for a second. It's more about how you're attacking this game and you're impacting. And you're a young, motivated black man that's a representation of the culture and the generation now. So I would just want to sit down and just get a real understanding, because whether it's true or not, that's irrelevant to me. It's just more about that mindset where it's just like how did you do what you did if that's what you was doing, or how I just need to have a conversation.
Yeah, I have a unpopular opinion about it. I'm not gonna go into any details, but
Keep it political now,
Keep it
because we all got futures up here.
no, this is what I always wonder. Giving the date and time of somebody that may have done something, if they've changed since then, do we still hold them for that thing that did? I mean, some things are unforgivable and you gotta have your day in court about that. But if you've actually, talk about Jay-Z, self-proclaimed drug dealer, that's, a billionaire now, philanthropist, does all types of good stuff. Do we wanna be like, you used to be a drug dealer though. Remember that? Like sometimes, like when you're trying to mature and grow up, people always wanna hold you to who you used to be. So I feel like there's got to be a level of being able to get past that and like, hey, I may have done something wrong, but I'm sorry. I'm not that person anymore.
That's the hard truth with a lot of things, because, when they kind of vilified Kanye for like his statements about slavery and this, that, and the third, and then you look at in politics where they're trying to like take certain things out of the school system or whatnot. While I understand the fight, I also have to question to myself, how are we able to get to the future if we keep reminding ourselves of the past? And I don't have an answer to that question. So I don't know what the right answer is, because I understand that we still want to acknowledge what people have experienced and what they've gone through. But at the same time, how much sympathy do we really need given what the system and world is like? Like, what are you going to do about it? Type of thing. So I don't know. It's hard truths and tough questions that no one has the answer to. But hold on, real quick. The thing is, in today's world, we can't even get to is someone guilty or innocent, because everybody's a bandwagon person. Like, as soon as you find out something that's unfavorable about a person, see, I knew it. Like, it's so much talking going on where there's not consideration of mindset. Like, people can almost be vilified for thinking different, and there's no one else that thinks like them. When it's just like, yo, they're an anomaly to this whole situation versus the crowd that all agrees with each other. So.
Yeah, that's weird. We talked about that last week. People in the comment section, it's like sometimes it just gives them a platform to say some wild stuff. And I was like, do you really feel that way? Or is it just like you feel like you can get away with it? Like, yeah, I can say it now. Like, you know what I mean?
But it's my thing though. See, this is what people don't understand too. Going back to programming, if I get you to comment, I have control over you. I don't care what you said. You still comment. So you're giving me a chance not only to get your attention and program you. You may disagree with it, but now I have a chance to actually respond back to you. And then that helps further promote. If someone agreed with your disagreement, I also get to speak to them as well. So it's like when you think about things on a higher level of thinking versus just I didn't like that comment. I'm more like, thank you for engaging.
Right. Absolutely. All right.
Y'all finished all cereal? Dang, y'all was hungry, huh?
I come in hungry. And I ate breakfast this morning.
Stop playing with it.
All right, this is very controversial around here. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Do you prefer a spoon or a butter knife when making, during the creation of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? You prefer a spoon or a butter knife?
Is it this? I mean, it gotta be a butter knife.
I'm like, you're not living this life that you living, my nigga.
That's a random spoon.
Yeah,
I don't
like
care if you started with
a spoon,
but I know you're using the knife.
Cause
now.
listen. First of all, you know when you was young, you ain't just out the womb making the sandwich. You watching mom make the sandwich, right? And so mom using that butter knife because this is the thing. You ain't finna dirty up dishes. So you gonna make the sandwich and cut the sandwich with the same damn knife. You feel what I'm saying?
I understand if you cut your sandwich, butter knife, I understand.
Now, if you grew up in kind of an obese mentality household, a spoon, because that's somebody that's also like taking a spoonful of the peanut butter to eat while they up here trying to spread it across the sandwich. You can't even get an even spread on the bread with the spoon. So, listen. The curvature of the spoon, it don't match because listen, if a person make a sandwich with a spoon, they pay bills late. I don't trust you, dog. Like you a person that wants to know the grace period before the due date. I don't trust you, dog.
The curvature of the spoon.
Yeah, because you don't get even distribution of the actual, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Man, butter knife that life up, man.
I understood, you know what I mean? I like the scoopability.
Yeah. But you know what that is? That sounds like something that lives in the munchie world because the spoon equates to lack of time and waiting.
You'd be surprised how many people prefer a spoon. Survey has said, you guys has already spoke on this matter, and survey said more people prefer a spoon.
There was spoon people on the internet.
That ain't fair because everybody that's watching this already is a fan of cereal, so like they already pro spoon. They pro spoon, right?
Pro spoon, let's do it. New shirts coming soon.
Pro spoon.
All right.
See,
I feel like you're gonna be back. I feel like I got you back with this next one. Ketchup. You keep ketchup in the refrigerator.
In the refrigerator? What are we talking about? It's supposed to be cold.
I can't even finish the question. Thank you.
No, it's supposed to be cold. Cause listen. Now, as melanated individuals, we ain't gonna be too political, but as melanated individuals, some of us ain't going unless the fries is right out the grease, right? So if the fries is right out the grease,
come on, man.
The contrast of that hot fry with that cold ketchup is just like the people that like to dip their fries in the milkshake. It's the same contrast, because what it is, you get the cold on the outside, and then when you bite down on the fry, it's still warm on the inside. You feel what I'm saying?
Say something bad about those room temperature people. Say something bad about them.
Listen, you essentially, look, and your ketchup spoiling faster. Like,
first of all, ketchup don't sit around that long. And two, I want my fries to stay hot. I don't want no coldness. I don't want
no, but see, what you talking about? You talking about spreading the ketchup on top of the fries and letting it get cold. I'm talking about dipping. You know what I'm talking about? Now listen.
That's a good one. You a dipper?
Listen,
dipper or spreader.
Listen, hold on. I'm professional on the ketchup. So Pete, I was at the office the other day. We ordered lunch. We was having a staff meeting. Food came in. My boss said, yo, hand me the ketchup out the thing. Assistant handed him the ketchup. And I said, yo, check the date. He was like, why you say that? I said, because if the ketchup ain't the color of my hat, something ain't right. If it's the color of the book, at the bottom of this book, he checked the date, ketchup was expired. You feel what I'm talking about? Like, you gotta know ketchup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a ketchup expert. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pro potato. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, that's wild. That's good tip though. For sure. All right. What is your favorite curse word or phrase? And if you don't curse publicly, you can just give us some initials or whatever.
Well, yeah, because publicly is one version, and then privately is another version. So, in public, it's understanding my responsibility not only to myself, but those that I represent, along with those that have future aspirations to be in this same space. And just for the aspirations that I have, I'm very conscious of how I present myself, not present myself in a fake way, but to give your best. So I don't really have a favorite cuss word because I'm also a proponent of being able to express yourself and be understood. Expression doesn't always include emotion. It's supposed to be a focus on comprehension. So I don't really focus on cussing unless we're kind of in a setting where I'm trying to be a little bit more relatable to a specific individual. Right. In a mass group setting, I want you to be able to speak to me now in church or wherever. You know what I'm saying? So
across the board. I'm a big fan of MFer. You know what I mean? I like the longer ones.
But do you know where that comes from? Do you know where that word comes from? Do y'all know where that word comes from?
Yeah, some bad stuff.
So do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like we promoting that. You know what I'm saying? Like MFer, y'all could have chosen.
Yeah, straight up. We're a little bit familiar, but anyway.
What would my mama say?
All right. What's your favorite corner store snack?
It's really between high chews and mambas.
Ooh, both of those.
High chews and
like
mambas.
the same thing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, listen. This is the smallest I've been in life, right? But I used to be a professional fat guy. Now, when it come to candy, I don't got no, oh, that was all right, that was good. I'm finna murder the whole clip. When we going through the Mambas, you know how they got the 3 different clips in that thing? I'm gonna start with my least favorite clip. Run through them, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I open up my candy, mind you, it's open to anybody that wants some. But when you see it open, you need to attack. Because if you come back in like 30, 45, I don't know what to tell you. The fat took over, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you wanted some?
You wanted some, cuz? I'm already trying to hide all the rappers that I done created by eating all this damn candy, you know what I'm saying?
Again, my son. Go in there, man, bathroom trash. Powerade.
No, listen, you gotta find the trash can
everything.
that's not yours, so you can't claim it. Find a trash can with a lid or something. I always take it to the gas station and put it in that trash can. That's by the gas pump.
That man had a pocket full of rappers. Okay, so is social media killing relationships?
Or does it help build relationships?
I mean, it could be
Don't
a
have
bit.
me ask a question if you gonna ask a question.
That was a caveat. That wasn't. Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, it all depends on the person. Social media overall, I mean, it's not bad, but it can present a sense where there's a lack of context, you know? So there's always this talk of like, is the man the prize, is the woman the prize? And like when I'm dating somebody, I always say, well, look, do I think I'm a prize? Most definitely. But I'm pairing also with the prize. Like, I don't think people understand. It's like when I see my significant other, it's like you're a representation of me. So if I think I'm it, I also think you're it. So I'm not saying I'm more valuable than you, but we're valuable together.
Let's see the value in each other.
Here we
I like
go.
to see mine and be like, God damn.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is the thing. If don't nobody else want what you got, do you really got something? But that might go to somebody's head.
Jim.
She like, okay, I like that one.
Program.
I'm over here getting programmed like
Last but certainly not least, speaking of, dating and relationships, this doesn't have to be for you. If you're giving advice to a nephew or a young man, maybe one of the artists that's...
I'm 100, man. Like
Yeah,
my man Willie Joe said, I'm gonna keep it a Boston baked beans. I'm gonna keep it a bean.
All right, how long you feel like is a good amount of time before you're going for the butt grab, like when you're making your intentions known on somebody that you like?
It's not time, it's intention and integrity. You feel what I'm saying? Because what I can do, the next man probably can't do. You know what I'm saying? So I can't speak to how long somebody else had to wait. I just know how I make her feel. So it's more about, again, it's more about that programming so she understands that it's okay, and it was okay from day one. We ain't gotta wait till day 17. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about you, relax.
Like, because the thing is, you knew when you see me what you was willing to do for me or do with me. So all I gotta do is make sure I don't mess up what you already thinking.
Damn, bars.
I like this sound.
Gang.
That
That boy got game. Boy, you been in the industry forever.
Clearly.
Boy got game.
Clearly. What was Rockstar engineer?
You know what I'm saying?
She looking them up.
Google.
Wikipedia
We're
say.
very Googleable, you know what I'm saying? Royce
Ain't even
Monroe.
got my phone. Nope, don't even. Nope, my phone is over
see
here.
that
I'm
cereal.
Googling anything. Don't listen
Later.
to him. Never Googling anything.
I know I'm gonna get one new follower.
For sure. All right, we get into the cereal review portion of this show. Today we had a classic, man. A classic that my man never even tried before. We got Crunch Berries in the building, man. Brought to you in part by mycttv.com, where you can get great merchandise like these. And matter of fact, man, while we here, man, let me. I got something for my guest right here, man.
Okay.
Yeah. serial entrepreneur. You know what I mean?
Okay, I like this. Hold on, let me read this. Serial entrepreneur. Hold on, let's read it out loud.
Come on, there you go.
Someone who gets the ball rolling on an idea for products or services with the goal of selling out as quickly as possible for as much as possible.
Hello.
And this is why you don't get in, you merge in. This is also why you are your own industry.
Hey man, it's perfect. I gotta get him one of these. After I read the book, he's a perfect example of what a serial entrepreneur is. But anyway, we got Crunch Berries in the building, man. We got a 0 to 5 rating system. We do wholes and half bowls, half a bowl, whole bowl. But 0 to 5, what do you give Capn Crunch, because it's Capn. Capn Crunch.
It's definitely Capn.
Capn. That's crazy. It's been Capn Crunch the whole time. But 0 to 5, what you thinking?
I'm gonna give it a good 4.5.
Oh,
I'm gonna give it a good 4.5.
Classic.
And I got context. So what it is that obviously all cereal is very sweet, right?
Right.
And I feel like it had a good distribution to where the berry crunch wasn't sweeter or less sweet than just the Capn Crunch part. But what I would have appreciated for that 0.5 is if I could just tell the difference in it. Like if the Capn Crunch was a little less sweet than the berry crunch, so when they combine together, you can tell what the difference is. It's like the Rice Krispies I was talking about, where it's like you put the sugar in it, you're gonna have that one little part that didn't get no sugar, but it's gonna balance out with that other section that had a lot of sugar in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta balance it.
You feel a little, it's like sand on the bottom of the ocean. You gotta scoop down in there.
Get that pot.
Okay, I had to follow you for a second. I was like, sand on the bottom of the ocean. Okay, baby,
You
yeah.
got that sugar in the bottom of the milk.
Yeah.
All right, Sky.
I like it. I gave it a 4.
A 4.
A 4.
Oh,
I
that's
do
wonderful.
Like it. It's a little sweet, like you said. It didn't get too soggy too quickly, and more importantly, it did not cut the roof of my mouth.
Maybe they.
No, I'm trying to tell you, the Capn part used to be a little. That's why they used to cut your mouth. They used to be bigger,
They
dog.
rounded the edges.
No, they reduced the size. That's what they did because it's 2025 and they trying to get as much for as little.
True.
No hate.
Crazy.
Come on, son. What you got? What you got down there?
I'm giving it a 5, man.
Ooh!
Perfect
One of my
score.
favorite. I clearly ate all mine.
I was gonna say, cause y'all murdered. You know what I'm
I ate
saying?
all mine. I ain't even gonna hate on it. Actually, it got better because them used to be rough too.
Yeah.
For some reason,
They did something
They
better.
did something.
they a little bit smoother, Paul.
Oh, here he comes.
Nah.
ahead.
I was rocking with it. I'm trying to decide between 4 or 5. I'm fine. Yeah. But my original thought was 4.5. That last 5 kind of almost influenced me though. I was going with the crowd a little bit, but originally 4.5. This is Capn Crunch. Has some
It's a classic.
dope flavors. Some classics. Y'all guys let me know what you guys are eating. Pause in the comments. Let us know if it's about cereal. We don't want no weird stuff.
The sugar rush that I'm experiencing right now, yo, if your kids eat this,
This is
it's
wild.
it's ugly.
Why they up the wall?
No, feed them this before they go to school. Don't do this after school.
All right, man. I want to thank our guests for coming through, man. Having cereal with us, man. Royce Monroe. You guys definitely check out the book. Check him out. He got a lot of dope stuff, a lot of content creation on YouTube and everything. So, any final words for the people?
Yeah, man, don't forget, how you do anything is how you do everything. And you don't get in, you merge in. And this is why you are your own industry.
How long you work on that? You practice that?
No, this is the thing, bro. This is why I had to, this is why I had to make the book, because y'all seen before we started taping. Like, this is just how it be flowing. You feel me? This is God. This ain't even me. I'm just the vessel. You know what I'm saying? I detach and let go and just let God start speaking. I didn't rehearse none of this. I got up, took a shower, and then came here. You know what I'm talking about? So,
Put that thing in the quotes in the black background. Let people share it.
yeah, man. You feel me? You ain't never met me. It's
We
Big
got about 10
G in.
portables in the joint.
All right, man. We out here. See you guys later. Peace.